Good afternoon, folks. This is your man, all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bobby Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, time is flying. A week at maybe about two more weeks left till the Olympia. Can you believe it? I mean, it's just it is. It's crazy. The Olympics were the biggest shows and stages. And right now all shows at qualification for the Olympia has ended. The last show was the Legion Sports Festival, which was the last qualification for the Olympia. Even though women's bodybuilding, there was no women's bodybuilding in that show, there was women's physique. And this lovely lady here, she competed just last weekend, and she still looks pumped and shredded. And that's just been a week ago. And and like I said, I like to call attention to ladies like this who are mature, who are finding their way into the sport of bodybuilding. Because the fact is, these it's not just the young competitors that are keep bodybuilding alive. It's these people coming in who are in the twilight of the years, mid to the years, and then finally just find the sport on their own. So we're going to talk to this lovely lady. This is Mrs. Cynthia Marks. We're going to talk to her and let her share a story how she gets in the sport of bodybuilding and explain where she wants to go in her career as a professional bodybuilder. So welcome, ma'am, and thank you for coming. And as I often ask you lovely ladies of muscle, I ask you, why such a lovely like yourself get in sports, as we say it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
Why? Why not? I actually got my start at the age of 55. I'm 61. And yes, everybody is very shocked by that. I did not know the world of bodybuilding until the age of 55 when a friend invited me to join in with a group training with a coach. She was running a marathon and wanted some training. And the more girls that she brought in, the bigger the discount. So I said, why not? I was an all women's fitness group at the time, and I was pretty much outgrowing them. I'd been with them for 3 years and was looking for something a bit more. I wanted to advance, and that fell into my lap, and I fell in love with it. All the girls quit 3 weeks into it. I stayed, and I'm still here, and I've just been advancing. I started off in figure. I ended up with that coach moving to another coach, a female coach she is just phenomenal. And she got me on that path of competitions, got me ready for a competition a year after training with her. And I've just been going strong since. I was doing figure. Last year, I won my pro card at my first national show in Pittsburgh. That was very surreal and a lot of fun. And I was also watching the bodybuilding competitions for women. I didn't even know that existed. So my goal is, one, I would love to go to the Olympia. That's my goal. I'm still considered a novice physique gal because I really have only been training since August of last year from figure to physique. And I have put on a lot of muscle. I want to put on a bit more muscle. And I will be coming back at the spring to take my rightful placings.
Well, that's really good, and you were like 55. That
55.
was 55. I wouldn't think. I would believe that you were 55 now, maybe 50 in your late 40s, but 61. My oldest sister, she's 64. I'm the youngest out of 9. And I'm going to be 50 next year. And it's just, a lot of this by the sport is like a lot of ladies get in sports such late in life. I mean, there's some ladies that just a while back, a female bodybuilder by the name of Patty Henson, who came back. She competed at Tampa. She was 68 at the time. Michelle Brent, I think she's turning 66 this year. A couple of ladies who I follow who are in their 60s, 50s. I think there's even a lady who's a fig competitor who's 71 years old. I think she works with Wendy, Fortino, and and the thing is about it's just when people say, "Hey, I'm 61," and and you say, "You sure, man? I mean, we gotta look at your ID." 19. Okay, we believe you. It shocks people when you hear it.
Everyone that hears it from me is shocked as well. I don't act 61. Age is just a number. This sport does help reverse aging, by the way. You're eating clean, you're living a clean lifestyle, you're lifting, you're doing cardiovascular exercise. As we know, sedentary lifestyles as we get older is the killer, and also allows diseases to come in. Staying fit and healthy even into your older years is extremely important. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've always been a bit athletic, very fit. This has taught me a lot: discipline, dedication, sacrifice. There are just so many other things as well, and I love it all. I just eat it up, and I just can't get enough.
Yeah, that's the thing about the sport. It's just that you have to have a passion for it. It's not an easy sport for a lot of people to do. I mean, there's a lot of sacrifices you got to make, especially the food part. I'm a kind of a large brother, and I've been fighting for a long time. Before then, I was almost, because I took care of my mom for about 5 or 6 years. I was almost 500 pounds, and
Oh
then I
wow.
said, I decided to take care of myself, because I was taking care of her and put myself to the side. And then I didn't have that responsibility of her anymore because my mom, because I know your mother, you have children, and my mom was my woman. As boys, we love our mothers. You are our first woman we ever loved, and I stood by her. And then when she was gone, I said, I felt like I was a widower. My woman was gone, off my woman. So I decided, it's time for me to take care of myself. And it's hard to make those decisions, even though sometimes I still have my bad habits because I went to pick up a friend for work, and then I stopped by KFC and got some nuggets and some fries. But as long as I moderate, don't do it all the time, now and then. Just little pleasures, but sometimes it's next time. Sometimes harder for y'all bodybuilders. Here we got a man. This is a name you gotta you gotta be careful with this one. This is my man, Brawl Steve. He says, "Salute and what up?" He says also this. He says, "Good afternoon, gorgeous." He's a
Good
fan. He's a
afternoon.
fan. Also, his moniker, Chicago in here. This is North Carolina right here. So, you in Chicago. Also, he says, smash that like button. He says also, peace and blessings, beautiful. We have him, Mr. Emmanuel L. say, hey, Miss Marks, nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you too.
And also, Ballsy, he has no say something. He says, she's swole and sexy as AF. Baldy's
I
hot and ready. He's hot and ready. He's hot and ready. So, you mentioned your coach and trainer. Who's your coach and trainer?
Right now, I am in limbo between coaches. The one that I did have for the show, I no longer have for various reasons. So I do have an appointment with another coach next week, he's phenomenal. I have worked with him in the past. When my coach, he's also my former coach's coach. So my former coach she developed cancer, metastatic cancer.
Oh, so
So I
sorry.
cannot train with her anymore. I went a different avenue to a different gym just to branch out a little bit differently, learn the sport, because her name is Diane Blevins, and just bless her heart, she did so much for me. Seriously. I am looking for someone like that as well. It's hard to find in this industry where I live, especially. You would think that it would be, but it's not. It's really hard to find good trainers or coaches that know, one, how to work with you, especially older people. You cannot train us like you can train a 20 and 30-year-old. We have aging joints, we have aging ligaments, and even though we can lift and we can lift heavy, it's got to be a slow, steady progress so that we don't have injuries. And I've had my share of injuries and surgeries, trust me. I just had bicep surgery to replace this bicep that was torn from the bone 3 years ago. Very successful. Just things like that you need a very good coach to understand where you're coming from and how to train you to be the elite athlete that you want to be. The trainer I'll be going to, his name is Sean, and he is at a self-made training facility in Temecula. He is phenomenal, just as phenomenal as my female coach was. So I have an appointment to meet with him next week, and he's going to get me right back into the ball game. And I'm selecting, like I said, I'm selecting a show for early spring, and he'll get me there. He's just phenomenal.
Well, we like to say prayers and heart go to Miss Blevins. I hope she does well. I had a lady who I was good, really cool with. We still talk. The love of Miss Wanderly Charisma. She passed away from cancer. It was sad for me because we became good friends and close. We never met each other, but it was just nice to to talk to her, and she told me stories, and we try to keep in contact. But I hope she does well. I know it's tough. Cancer is an awful thing to have, and it's just, especially like I done an interview with a lady who dealt with breast cancer, and and it's awful. But here you just made Ball Steve's day. He wanted you to ask you this question, and he wanted to say, he wants you to say, Here goes Balls Deep. Says, he said this. He says, "Flex for me, baby." She already did. You got a little flex there, Balls Deep. Oh no, she'll give you one more. Here you go. You might want to pull it back a little bit. There you go. Okay. Yeah, you want a little face Balls Deep. Right. There you go. The bicep. Yeah. Oh.
I'm doing it reverse in this. So.
Yeah. So there you go, Balls Deep. So you can put away your tissue and your lotion. You'll be all right. So yeah. And also, he says this. This is from Curtis L. Jr. Shout out to Curtis. He says, "You're 61. Woo! You are one savage woman. You are in very good condition. A sexy beast like that." And I'll tell you, when I remember there was just like this old Chappelle show. It was episode Chappelle show when it was like when Charlie Murphy met Prince, and he said we had a guy Mickey Free. You remember Mickey Free? And he said like, Shamar got a new girl. She's fine as a motherfucker. Anytime I get a new girl out here, these guys act like you're Nikki Free. Say like, George got a new girl. She fine as a motherfucker. He's excited. So guys, if you like the lovely Mrs. Marks, her social media stuff is in the description. Follow her on her social media platforms. But God, I got a rule. There's no fist to you, man. No D pics. This is a lady right here, guys. Stop it. Don't do that. Guys don't. Come on. I remember one lady told me, like, she sent me a space at George. This guy said, he said, well, you shouldn't see other girls because he's out there just sitting, And the thing is, people don't think that your ladies are beautiful women. I do a comparison thing called, Flex and Sex Appeal, where I compare women. It's where I do comparison videos. And every now and then I do a thing called Flex and Sex. And the guys who love it because the fact is you get to see women flex, you see the women in your conditioning, you see them, and we just talk about them. But like I said, it's tough to, especially you say you live out in the country. I know I live in the country most of my life. It's tough to find there. But now with things going now, ever since I think through the pandemic, technology's changed. Like you can do like via webs like that. But like I said, we came in early. We had issues with the Wi-Fi. But it's good that you can find somebody that works with you. And he also has to maintain the same idea that your old coaches has done with you.
Well, he actually trained my coach, so
he's
and he's phenomenal. So
he's
where he's at.
He's the Qui-Gon Jinn to his Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're just
yes.
you're going to I'll say that. Or no, Master, no, better than that, Master Yoda.
Yes.
What the Force do you have? You what?
We don't want to inflate his ego any more than that. He's actually a very sweet guy. He really is.
Yeah, it's good. And like I said, you started just late in life. What was that first feeling like when you got on the stage the first time? What was that feeling?
Oh my gosh, that was the most. I only wanted to go on stage once. I only wanted to compete once. I went there just saying, this is the only time I'm going to do this. I got on stage. Very nervous, a little shaky. And this is funny. My daughter was there and she was able to video it. And it showed me walking like a robot so fast across that screen stage. I'm like, done. It is that fast. And it was hilarious. But I got second place on my first show. So that was actually very good. Diane had gotten me my condition just impeccable. I grew so much with her. From when I came to her, I was a skinny, fat girl. Still healthy, fit, but a little high body fat. And she just whipped me into shape quickly. It was a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun. It's a little harder now as we get bigger because now we have to train these mature muscles to grow more. So there's a little bit more pain involved in that because you have to push heavier. So you need a really good, strong coach for that to sit there and help you reach past your plateaus and keep going and keep going and keep going. I love it. I'm exhausted usually after my workouts, which is always a good sign. But I get right back up and I'm right back in there again the next day. And I will continue doing it as long as I can.
Well, ma'am, I can't respect you for that because it's tough because, when I got back into working out, there's days where I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing this. I don't. But, it takes a lot of energy and courage to do it, especially when you get older because I can tell you, I'm about to be 50 next year. And, plus I've been heavy for a good while. I used to play football and I played sports when I was a kid, but then when you get life hits you because I never had children, never had family, but, working jobs, holding down.
Yes.
And then just It just, you don't really have the time to do what you do. And you say you have your daughter was there. How many children do you have?
I have 3 adult children. I have a son and 2 daughters. My youngest is 32 and my oldest is 42. So
Huh.
my son is my oldest, he's 42, and my daughter youngest is 32.
So you had them
My
when you were
youngest
young.
daughter is the one that lives closer. Yes, I was actually very young. I was married very young. I was married at the age of 17 and a half, and I had my son a month before I turned 19. So yes, I started young.
Yeah, it kind of reminded my mom. My mom was 16 when she married my dad, and I think it was no more after she had my older sister. She was 81 when she was 80 when she passed. She raised me and my nephews and nieces, and that's why I respect ladies like yourself who, and just doing what you're doing, raising kids, and they're grown now. Now,
Yes.
with your son, how does it feel when he goes these shows, like seeing his mom on stage in a bikini? Does he like, no, I can't look at this, man. That's my mom, man. I can't look at this.
Oh, he is my number one fan. My number one fan. He cannot be any more proud of me than he is. He propels me to keep going, to take the negativity, turn it into positivity, just like last weekend's a little, negativity part of it. I've already turned that into positivity. So I don't dwell on the negative things that have happened. I take them and I work with them. My children are my biggest support. My 2 sisters are my biggest support. My husband is my biggest support. All of my friends and family are huge supporters of me. And that's great. I love it. I have lots of fans, which I love, lots of online friendships that all are very dear to my heart. And without them, yeah, I would still be doing this, but it would be lonely. It's
Mhm.
nice having a group of people, especially close people, that are there by your side,
Mhm.
encouraging you, giving you advice, lifting you up. Because as we know, as a bodybuilder, we do have our down days. We're not always energetic and uplifting. We're like, gotta go to the gym again. I gotta eat chicken again. I've got to eat rice again. Oh my God, when's it gonna stop? But that's the dedication part of it and the sacrifice part of it.
Mhm.
That's that discipline is what propels me. I love being pushed. Especially to the limits. I love being pushed to the limits, not in a detrimental way, of course. So if it's tough, I'm going to be right there. I'm going to be the one that is going to be the bulldog crossing that line, no matter how tough it is. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I can
So
respect
no,
that.
they're great. They're all great supporters.
Yeah, it's good. That is your husband there, or is he?
No, he's inside.
All right. Well, like I said, we like to say this. That's a good man stand by his wife like he does. Because I think one thing I learned with some cases where someone who start getting the sport, their family kind of like not supportive. They'll be like, especially if you have a husband or your parents are still around, and sometimes the children. Like I talk to ladies, say the children like to go to school because it's boring. But hey, I tell them, hey, you should go. You had them.
Right?
You raised them. You wiped their tails. You fed them. They owe you at least that time. If anything, you can't get the money back you put into them. You can't.
No.
That's gone. But they owe you
Yeah.
something. They owe you something. That's the thing is the sacrifice about the sport. Time, money, especially money.
Oh my gosh, the money part. Yeah. I earn my money from I do not take anything out of savings or retirement. I'm a retired hospice nurse. Or anything like that. I earn my money as a professional trainer and nutritionist. So all of the money that I earn from my clients goes into a savings, and that's what I use for my competitions. So I work hard for it in both ways, monetary wise and physique wise.
Mhm.
It's just part of a package for me. I don't want it handed to me on a silver platter. I would love some sponsors, absolutely, but I want to work for it. I would work for my sponsors just as hard as I work for myself.
Yeah, because you know what? You say that you're a hospice nurse. My mom was on the hospice, and I like to say this to you. I like to thank you for your service because
Thank
it's tough work to take care of somebody, especially the alien. She was on a couple of times because we almost thought she was gonna, but my mom was strong. Only what happened with her was she had the virus and didn't take her long because everybody was already going
Yep.
through a lot of stuff, and it's just but that's tough. And I respect that your passion for the sport. As you know, like I said again, is a special sport because you ladies have to compared to the men. And I keep saying this, and it's true. All guys got to do is wear banana hammocks and a pair of board shorts. That's it. You ladies, you have to, because I remember what bodybuilding was like. Basically, you had maybe 1 or 2 suits. You had your suits for prejudging, suits for finals. Nothing too fancy. But now your suits are from anything from $600 to $1,200, $1,200. I
Yes.
mean, and then not just only that, just counting travel expenses, this, that, food, makeup, hair, jewelry, everything that comes into this thing. And also a lot of ladies who do, we had a little debate about this, when you get boob job, it's not as necessary as needed, but it's the fact that, and we all know that breasts make women more feminine.
Yes.
Back in the day, there wasn't that many women do it now, but now some do it a lot more and some kind of overdo it a bit. I mean,
Yes. I've seen a few.
I mean, I understand that you want to feel feminine, but not to the point where, I don't know, you get too cartoony like Jessica Rabbit. I mean, pull it back in a little bit, get it
It's a little
moderate.
bit too top heavy at that point. Actually, I got breast implants at the age of 32, way before bodybuilding. And that was due to having 3 kids. So um, this has nothing to do with bodybuilding, which is great. It's good to have them, but I can understand the women who do have natural breasts, because when we go through the strenuous prep and cut that we do, and you lose a lot of body fat, they just drop down to absolutely nothing. I do understand the aesthetics part of it as well. Having breasts that are a little bit on the larger side, it's real hard to show those flares from the lats and things like that. So I have to work harder at building my lats bigger so they can be seen. And it's still a work in progress for sure.
Well, that's the thing. It's anything worth having, you got to work for it. So, guys, we're going to jump into her social media. We in IG and look at some pictures of stuff. Like I said, guys, you know my rules, you know my comments. No, don't send that stuff to her. She got a husband. She got grown kids. I hate to hear somebody got treated like got dragged out and beat in the middle of the street by her man, her son. Like I said, we boys, we love our mothers. So we're going to jump in here on social media for a bit. Okay. And we're going to look at some pictures and stuff. I hope y'all, wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, wait a second. Technology. And there we go. And here we go. Yeah, and you got impressive back. Look at your back. You still want to work on that.
I've been working. I have been working very hard on my back.
Mm-hmm. So you got the tattoo. That's a woman.
That's my own design.
Oh, so you do tattoos too?
No, that's just my own design. I had an artist, a tattoo artist who actually has his master's degree in fine art, do that for me.
That's pretty cool. And there's a little video here, just working out. Look at you. What was the critique from the show that the judges, as you said again, the judges gave you? Why they feel like what you need to fix and what you need to do?
Conditioning wasn't there. I need to work on my conditioning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if the condition is very important.
Yes,
because
the mass was there, but the conditioning was not on point, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got a lady who I come friendly with. Her name is Gretchen. She competes as an amateur. She was there at the show, and she said that Tina Mari, who took third show, was more fuller, and she felt like she should have. But the thing is, the fuller look you want more for bodybuilding than you do for physique, because conditioning is way more important. That's what separates the divisions. Here he is. We got a little workout montage right here. Can't play the music because you know how YouTube is.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's crazy, Us, But what's your favorite workout and your least favorite workout?
My favorite workout is definitely my back. It used to be my least favorite workout, by the way, until a year and a half ago, possibly 2 years ago, I made that mind-muscle connection to my back, and my back has taken off since then. My least favorite would be legs, only because it's so you can't walk afterwards, but I still work my legs, and I am actually in the process of building my legs a little bigger as well.
Yeah, I think
that I love working every body part, to be honest with you. I love working arms, shoulders. My shoulders are very dominant. My biceps are dominant. I don't have to do much for those. I have people that come to me wanting my shoulders and my biceps, and when I show them what I do, they're like, that's it. And I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, because I think, that's often, I always hear the legs is the least favorite part, because especially, after leg day, and you feel like, the episode of Chappelle's Show where Eddie and Charlie Murphy beat up Rick James's legs, and he's crawling out of the house. And, what are my legs, Charlie Murphy? What are my legs, Eddie Murphy? And, that's the least favorite. I had 2 bodybuilders on here. 2 IFBB pro bodybuilders told me their favorite was leg day. I said, and they said the least favorite was bicep day. I said, what the hell? Y'all some freaks. Now this,
Biceps are so easy.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's easy. Or here's this where you were at the teen collegiate and masters. This was
That is
last
where,
year.
yeah, that was my first national show, by the way. And I
Really?
was just, I saw all those women. I said, "Oh my God, there's no way I'm in the wrong show. I'm not ready for this. Not ready for this." I really did not feel overly confident stepping on that stage, but I still did my job, and I was floored that I won my pro card, and very pleased, of course, too.
Yeah, a lady who I become friendly with, she got a pro card, I believe, at that show. No, Lori got a pro card at the no at the North Americans. I remember Lori Collins, she got a pro card at North Americans. But I know somebody else who got the pro card at that show. I can't remember who. I've done some quite a few mini interviews with some of the ladies. But yeah, this is like sure. Give love, share laughter, grow plants, find peace, chase dreams, and what's that word? Uh, Spread hope. Oh, that's nice. That's
I
nice.
got that shirt from my female coach. She gave me a lot
Oh,
of very inspirational shirts, and that one is actually very spot on.
well, that's good. Like I said, Miss Blevins, we appreciate her. I hope she's doing well. And it's tough, but it's good
Very.
that you have that support from her. But and like I said, after the show, what did you want to eat after Legions? What was that thing you wanted to eat?
I wasn't hungry, to be honest with you, but what I did eat was a steak, a very delicious steak. My friend took me to the restaurant in the Atlantis hotel where I was staying, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It was very nice to just be able to not have to eat chicken and rice.
Well, I'm looking at this. This is GF beef enchilada. Ooh, oh
I
God.
am gluten sensitive and soy sensitive, and many other food allergies. So my eating has to be clean. I do a lot of my own cooking. I'm an excellent cooker or baker and cook, and I make gluten free lasagna, enchiladas, all that good stuff. And I do like to make pans of it and give it away as well. Um, but
That's
yeah, it's
good.
absolutely delicious. In
Yeah, that's the
fact,
one
I'm
thing
due
about
to
people.
make another one.
Yeah, that's the one thing about people. Say that eating clean is very important about bodybuilding. You just don't eat just everything.
No,
Especially and especially I know some ladies that they have like issues with gluten or they're diabetic or just that it's just a better process to eat clean. I had a friend right here. This is him. He's always talking to my man, KO the Wanderer. He says this. He says, George's having the guest. Thank you, KO. He often suggests that try to go vegan. I'm like this. I'm a black man from the South. I have not, if I remember one of my favorite old school comedians says, Jerry Krause says, I've never been so poor where I had to eat iced potato in the morning. But I eat iced potato, but not for breakfast. I gotta get something with that iced potato. Yeah, here, it's just it's tough that sometimes like especially it's a good thing that you started in this later in life that you're not around like if you start like some of the ladies started when their kids were still young, still growing and developing or in the teenage years where they can eat anything. Kids can eat just about anything and run all day. But now your kids are grown and do they have kids or you have
yes.
grandkids? You
All
know,
three of them have kids. Yes, I have grandkids.
and that's the hard part too. Because sometimes, yeah, grandma, me, mom, I'm eating this, and you want some, and the baby say, "Nah, baby, I can't. Right now, I'm prepping."
I'm actually very good with food simply because there's so many foods I cannot eat. So by me saying no, I can't is simply because no, I can't. Not so much because of the regime that I go through for bodybuilding. It's more for health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So the clean eating is it does me very well, very 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 well.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever think about doing like I know some people do it, and I know you would do it. You think about maybe getting degrees in nutrition and do food prep too? Because
I am
that's
certified in nutrition and a personal trainer. I have 5 certificates under my belt, getting ready to add another one. I did pick up nutrition. That helped me a lot. And also food journaling my own food for 2 years when I got really sick and deleting everything. I'm on no medications. In fact, I told my gastroenterologist 3 months into it because the medications they had me on were making me worse. I DC'd everything and I said, I'm going to food journal. Something is inflaming me from here all the way down. I'm going to food journal and I'm going to delete everything. And this is right when gluten free started coming out. So everything gluten free tasted like crap. I had to learn to cook my own foods gluten-free. And it was a hit and miss a few times. Thank heavens my family were good guinea pigs for me. But I also learned very quickly the market started coming out with better products, better flours, gluten-free flours, things like that. I actually use a flour cup for cup. I use that exclusively for everything that I make. And it's gluten-free. It's a rice flour. You would never know that it was a rice flour. It tastes, the taste and the texture and everything is just like regular food. It's just gluten-free.
Yeah. A while back, I bought a thing. It was oatmeal flour, and I cooked it. I think I had took some chicken breast and made it fry. It tastes pretty good. I mean, it was like it was on sale for like $1 and some change, and there was two of them. I said, let me try something different, and I bought it. I said, I wish I would have went back at the other one because when they told me it was like $1 and some change. This usually the healthy stuff is expensive, but that's the thing that's another cost about being better, food, intake of food, how much you take a day, how many meals you have to eat during a day. I mean, that's a lot of things. Here we got here, Katie says, she bakes. Yes, she bakes. And also,
yes,
he says this, he says, there are vegan bodybuilders. I know, but the hard part about being vegan bodybuilder is trying to find protein is very important to bodybuilding. There's some vegetables and some other meats that can be substitutes, but generally you don't get the same look compared to when you are actually
the same look.
Yeah, because
you're a little flatter when you do vegan and keto. I cannot do vegan because there's many plant products that like pea protein and things like that I cannot eat. I am an animal eater. Red meat especially, I assimilate red meat like you would not believe. In fact, I can live on red meat and not get fat. Turkey, chicken, I have a hard time with. In fact, I had some DNA testing done a few years back that showed that I cannot break down turkey. I lack the protein or the enzymes. I forget what the doctor said to break down the protein or the enzymes in the turkey. And that's why turkey, even when I was much younger, always bothered me. I also have a genetic factor where I cannot break down mercury. Mercury builds up in me and becomes toxic. So I've always avoided fish and seafood, even though I was born in Texas and grew up in Galveston, where my mother would meet the fishing boats every Friday and get the fresh flounder and oysters and all that other stuff, which, I ate as a kid because my mother cooked it, not knowing that I had a mercury issue. So there's a lot of things with me. So my foods and supplements cost me a bit more, simply because I just cannot eat anything on the shelf. So I do a lot of my own cooking. I come up with my own recipes. I do a lot of my own cooking, and I have to make the family happy with the cooking too. So it's not just me that's happy. This sport is very expensive on many aspects and many levels. That's just a side note for me. The main thing for me is putting on the muscle, feeling as good about myself. I used to have a very low self-esteem. This has actually made me feel very, very good about myself. When I walked on stage this past weekend, both days, I did both Saturday and Sunday, knowing that Sunday, I was biting off more than I can chew, but I had a lot of fun with it, met some wonderful ladies. I just had to go that route, so I did it.
Well, it was good because you know what? A lady who I did an interview a while back, we become good friends on social media, Miss Heidi Worrell. Some know her as Mighty Heidi. She competed at the Arizona Pro that week before the Legion show. Great lady. I mean, she did both the Open and the Masters, and and there's a lot of women like yourself again who come into the sport because the mental issues. Sometimes bodybuilding does help build confidence, and then sometimes there's also issues with body dysmorphia and other things that affects, because it does help build your courage, especially when you go on the stage, you wear a small little bikini, and everybody's looking at you. You have to be confident, and you was doing figure, you were in the high heels, and and like I said, I said before, I had quite a few jobs, and one of my jobs I used to work at a strip club. Now, you have to wear the high heels, it's you got to work across the stage, and you presentation your body, and it's people don't realize that bodybuilding is a sport. It's a lot of work. It's the mindset of it is a sport of. It's not a team sport, but it does take a team to build the bodybuilder. It's not just so much solo because sometimes you can't do. It's hard to do on your own. You don't have a coach for your training coach, for your posing. Sometimes you might have somebody might have a nutrition coach. There's so much, but you have that degree in nutrition that helps you out. And also dealing with your other medical issues, because you say you can't eat turkey, you can't eat chicken, you eat a lot of beef. What about duck? You ever eat duck?
Nope. Never tasted duck, never had duck. I can't even eat eggs. I'm actually allergic to eggs too. So that's a challenge as well.
Yeah, I don't eat egg, period. Especially the body one. Eggs is just like, I know you save a lot of money because you don't have to eat eggs. Okay?
Exactly.
That's right there alone. This is a man KL, the one that says this. He says, yeah, I was talking with someone yesterday and they told me that when they started bodybuilding, they had to gain a lot of weight. So they had to eat a lot. They were very thin before lifting. Yeah, because you know what? It takes, for muscle mass to grow, you need more fat intake. That's the point about bodybuilding. It's if you come in very naturally lean, it's gonna be tough for you, and especially and with women, it's a lot because women, they carry higher BMI than us men. Men, we can be, I think, the lowest a man can go is maybe under 5, but women, if they go past 10, that's a health risk. Because I do content on like MMA content, and those women also have to weight drain. And then there was an incident a while back, a fighter by the name of Alina Farland. She came in overweight for a fight because it was a title fight, and she came in 3 pounds overweight. But because the thing is, when your body goes into starvation mode, it stores fat. So
yes,
what it does, it kicks out that fat for to save your body because it's just something it automatically does.
Well, the reason why the body does that is that we don't need muscle to survive. We need body fat to survive. And that goes way, way, way back, generations and generations and generations, where our ancestors were gathering food, hunting food. You need that body fat to stay warm, metabolism, transfer of certain minerals and things like that. I tend to stay lean. I'm one of those women that can hold a low body fat and function perfectly well. I've had a couple of shows to where I was at 5% body fat. So without any detrimental issues whatsoever. Did I feel hungry? Yes. Did I feel peckish? Yes. Did I feel depleted? Yes. But that's part of the sport, and it's only for a very short period of time. Then you get back onto that maintenance diet. You get back to building. It's a process. It really is. But I do tend to hold low body fat, which is in my favor. I do want to go into bodybuilding. Physique is the stepping stone into bodybuilding. I really do like the look of bodybuilding. I cut like a bodybuilder. I don't like all the eating I had to do to put on the muscle from figure to physique. That was my hardest and biggest issue, was eating all of that food, 6 meals a day, almost 4,000 calories a day. That's a lot for someone like me. I'm under 5 foot. I'm only 4'11" and a half. That's a lot of food.
You're probably one of the second shortest women in the sport right now, next to Michaela Aycock, who's 4'11". That's
Yep.
It's, I think one thing is, like, if you're a little taller, like maybe 5'3", 5'4", that does help you because height does make the difference.
Yes,
sometimes it's harder for the taller women because they lot longer. I got a lady who's confronted with her name, Tina Williams. She's like 5'9", and she just did the Rising Phoenix a couple weeks ago, and she looks great because she works with the guy who trains Andrea Shaw. Oh, Andrea Shaw. I'm just sorry. I'm just sipping for a moment. But it's just like I said. But when you I think Andrew's like 5'4", 5'5". It's with the shorter women or women within a short height, they can put on the muscle better because even though they're not as tall, it seems like it kind of spreads a little better. But when you're too short, it kind of is difficult to really come into certain condition. Like I think some people talk about that Michaela's a little bit blocky, or because you're shorter, because it's just I don't know. It's just something about genetics, and genetics is the factor about this. We get this from my man KL. He has a question, and I think you already answered, but you missed it. How long she's been bodybuilding? At least about since you started at 55. So let's see, about 5-6 years. But mostly been training, but then you didn't start competing till the year after, right?
Right. I've been bodybuilding for 6 years, and I started competing a year after that. So this was actually this past weekend was my 5th show, and I do a show every year. And this was actually my first back-to-back show. So that was very interesting for me. A little confusing as well. I'll get better with that. Very hard. I really envy the women that can do that, those back-to-back shows. They're not, they are hard. They're not, I mean, when you're already in peak and conditioned going into another show, you're already there. But I really could not see somebody doing that past 2 shows, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of competitors that do that, and I envy that they can do that. It's not easy. I mean, I definitely felt it on my second day. I was starting to peak on my second day, a little day late, but that's okay. I was really peaked on Monday on my way home. It's like, dang it. But it is what it is.
Yes, to happen.
Opportunities to do better.
Yeah, I remember talking to one lady that, like I said, I think the week after the show, she really peaked. She looked great. She looked pop. Everything was popping. But
Yep.
it was week after the show. It just sometimes it's about the process is about timing.
It is timing, absolutely.
So, yeah, if you can like come into condition just in the right time. Sometimes like I said, genetics is a good factor, but sometimes hard work is also important to about being a bodybuilder. If you just like I say, wait a minute, let's say we just do this, boom, I'm right there. But then sometimes you're like, dang, I missed the window. Conditioning, like I say, with physique is important. And as you know, physique has been around for at least a little over 10 years. Bodybuilding around, at least women's bodybuilding around for 40. And the divisions, as I talk about this quite often, we were talking earlier how, we're seeing the women now are starting to, meld. We seen I remember when women's bodybuilding started out, it was like, I grew up at the good part of the Richard Letch, Court Evenson area, Linda Murray, Laura Craval, Kim Zavetsky, then all up to people like, Iris Kyle and Yaxenia O'Keefe, and all the way to Andrea, and to these ladies right now, like Natalia, Cueto, and the girls, and there's a battle between Natalia and Sarah, who's gonna be the new Miss Physique. I like to see Brooke Walker take that. I think she's probably the better representation for women's physique. But it's just that it's about the evolution of athletes. Like when back in the day they kicked out women's bodybuilding out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Then he kicks out physique. Then he kicks out figure. And then one point, it wasn't that long ago that just after 6 years of being gone from Olympia, Miss Women's Bodybuilding came back. The true Miss O came back. But right now this year is not a good year. No fewer shows for it. Now it's only 10 women that show this year, where it's supposed to be at least 12. Harold Trevino dropped out for personal reasons. Just posted that Christina Mendoza dropped out. But now you're going to bodybuilding. Do you prefer a master's, or you think you're more open class?
Masters. Although I had a lot of fun with the open class, but definitely masters. And we'll see how that goes as I develop. It may change. I may do very well with open. When I was in Pittsburgh, I was up against some young gals too. But because of my age, and the skin changing and things like that, definitely masters category. My next show will definitely be, from 50 on up. Just for a little peace of mind as well with me, as I start to develop a little bit more. Like I said, I'm still a novice physique person, and I really picked one of the hardest shows to do. I kind of it was by accident, but I kind of tend to bite off a big chunk of something that I see that I want, and I just go for it, and I don't back down. I could have backed down many times, especially when I saw I was up against 40-year-olds. I'm like, I'm not giving up. And then I actually had a friend who wanted to sponsor me to do the Sunday show, and I said, sure, I'll do it. So I did it. It was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I don't go up there, and I'm not intimidated by anybody. I don't look at other women's bodies and go, oh God, I wish I had that. No, I look at me and what I want to improve in me. And that's where I go. In fact, half of the time I'm at these shows, I don't even look at the other women. I'll talk to them, but I don't look at their physiques. I don't look, oh, what can I do to look like that? Because no matter how great they look, I may not look like them. I have a different body than they do. That is their body. This is my body. And I'm going to improve my body and bring the best package that I can.
Yeah, because what works for you may not work for somebody else. And sometimes it's tough that, especially you ladies backstage, you walking around, you're seeing each other, you spray tanning with each other, spray tanning part, but and you see like, okay, I know sometimes people won't, but you know what? You are you. You can't be like, okay, I can't be like this girl or that girl. I can only be who I'm going to be. But like I said, yeah, it's going to always be like some comparisons like that. We got here, this is from Mike Boyce. He says, the Weeder flushing system. You try it. I don't know what that is. I think it's a
I
system
don't
that
know
Joe
what that
Weeder.
is.
Yeah, I visit. Look it up. It might be something that helps clean out your system.
I
Something I
think
don't
it
know.
might be pronounced wider. I'm not sure, but
It's
I don't know.
actually that's Weeder, Joe Weeder. He's the guy who started it all. Yeah, the
Okay.
father of
I've heard
bodybuilding.
his
He's the
name.
one who made Arnold. This is Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, y'all. Ever since I started doing this content, I grew a big Arnold fan. I watched Conan dozens of times as a kid. Of course, let me see him for you. And can you tell that of the women? I watched the Terminator movies. I watched them, but then I realized people tell me stuff that Arnold is a jerk. I mean, what he did to his bodybuilding. He only thing left in you keep the men because this is true about bodybuilding. The men division is the bottom bitch. This is in the pimping game. The bottom bitch is always the one that brings the big money for the pimp. That's what the men divisions are. Bikini is like that, and also you get wellness is a new division. That's what we got left. You got fitness, bikini, and wellness. Wellness, as you know, and bikini are the TNA divisions. You know what I mean by TNA.
Yes.
But bodybuilding, if it wasn't for bodybuilding, they wouldn't be the divisions. They wouldn't exist. There's even debates about how the divisions are, like I said again, starting to meld and started to really evolve and change. We got here my man Lawrence Perkins coming through. Thank you, Lawrence, coming through. Hello, say hello, Cynthia, George, everyone on the chat. Thank you, Lawrence, man. Thank you. And this is from Michael Boyce. It says, "Love you, Cynthia." Yeah, I think he got.
Love you too, Michael.
Yeah, and, like I said, it's just. I think what bodybuilding needs, especially now, is that there should be more care, taking care of the athletes. I've talked about this on my channel that you are the product of this sport. Correct. I think there should be more incentive for you. The IFBB and PC makes a lot of money off these athletes. The ones who are looking up to the top levels get sponsors. That's good because I know you say you want to work hard, but it's good to have that help. Especially to cover some things that you can't get or you need, like it's just a lot of things. That's why I talk about this on my channel. How some women, they do certain, as I call them, excuse my French, your mother and a wife, and you got grandma. Some ladies do, as I call them, beat the meat websites. That's what they are. We know what they are. But it's a way to make income. But bodybuilding should be more like any sport. I know it's not gonna be like football, baseball, hockey, all the other mainstream sports. But I used to remember as a kid, I used to watch it on television. I used to remember watching on like regular network television or ESPN and Fox Sports. But the sport, even though it doesn't get the same respect as the mainstream, it's still I think it's still a sport that's still sticking around as long as it has, at least over 70 years, at least about 80 years.
I would love to see bigger purses for women competitors personally. We're up there. We work our tails off just as much as the men, sometimes even harder because we are female. Men have a tendency to be able to build much easier than we do. So we definitely have to work doubly hard. And not to mention, again, like you had tapped on before, the cost of the suits. My suit, this last one, I have a phenomenal designer. And she designs a lot of the suits for a lot of the competitors you see on stage now. She is only 20 minutes away from me, so it's great. My suit was close to $1,000. She outdid herself in this suit. Absolutely, it's a gorgeous suit, and I will cherish it forever. But it would be, we pay a lot of money. Hair, makeup, oh my gosh. Massages, men have to do the massages too. I get that as well. There's just so much that women have to do in order to just be up on that stage. So it would be nice to actually see a little bit more attention for the women. And I agree with that 1000%. And what I see, I feel there's a little injustice there, a little unfairness there. I know life is not fair. That's just the way it is. But it would be nice to see women more recognized and more appreciated.
Mm-hmm. So if it's not bikini or wellness. We got here Lawrence. Lawrence says, I agree. And that's true, Lord. We should agree. We should support these ladies. Also, this is from MKL. He says, I took Joe Weeder products one time with his weight gainers. I don't need weight gainers. I just naturally, I'm big, it's my family side. My daddy's mother, my grandmother, they were short and stocky. Me and my, she's the third oldest. She passed away years ago. My sister Mary, my motto is we took after on my daddy's mother's side. My second older sister and my older brother, they took after my mother's side of the family, and my older sister and my youngest brother, they took after my daddy's side of the family. So we go like this. Also, we got here. This is from KLE also. It's always going to be like that with the women sports, and athletes are not getting recognized a lot. Yeah, like put out like basketball, WMMA, soccer's doing pretty good, but it's just it's a lot to be a woman in this world. I mean, that's why my channel is mostly dedicated to you ladies, because if you look, especially on YouTube, there's 20 minute channels dedicated to mostly to the men. Every now and then, they might talk about you women, but not that often. They will talk about the girls in bikini and wellness because that is the standard. I do a lot of content on bikini. I have interviewed a couple ladies in the sport. I got an interview with a lady tomorrow. She's a wellness competitor, and she's an amateur. I would love to interview some girls high end, but sometimes I think some guys said that those girls kind of have a up to the.
I will always stay humble, always.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Is that you took the time, reach out to you. I said, you know what? I saw your pictures. I said, you know what? I think I sent you your pictures. I think I did. And I said, you know what? This lady is pretty impressive. She's doing both shows. And I talk about in my videos, I do videos with before the show. I say, I don't know who she was. So I said, I need to know her. I reach out every now and then. I might get a response. I might not. My man here, he does content too on women bodybuilding. There's people like Didi on Spot. There's David or female body forum. It's also one of the guys who I've done work with before. That is the female bodybuilding channel. We recognize you ladies put it just as much work and hard work. It's not easy, especially you change the aspects of what it is to be a female, to be feminine. The idea of some people, like, I've been a fan. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a muscle person. Smoke. As a young kid, my brother used to play football in our hometown. He used to get the muscle mags. I used to love Arnold, Lou Ferrigno, Lee Haney, Rita Brada. Those guys I was coming up with as a fan as a kid, and then y'all women like Corey Everson and Sandy Riddell and the late Tanya Knight, who bless her soul, and so many beautiful women in the sport. I interviewed some ladies who were legends in the sport, like Rhonda Lee. I interviewed Nancy Lewis, Sue Price, great women who I followed, and I respect your commitment and passion for the sport. It's tough, and to make those sacrifices. And to want to, get respected. You deserve it. That's why, instead again, my challenge is dedicated to give y'all ladies and recognizing y'all. I know guys say, hey, George, we'll get this, you can get this person, that person, this person. Honestly, again, I would say this. I would love to get Andrea Shaw. Oh, Andrea. I would love to get this lady. But you know what? I love talking to people like you, who your story might inspire somebody who is like yourself, who came to sport late in life, who has kids and families like that, who might want to say, you know what? If this woman who's 61 years old right now can do this, I can do this. This is from my man KL. He says this. He says, George on the spot. Nah, it's all the ways, George Page. That's me, the emperor of female bodybuilding talk. But also, I have another guy. This is my partner. I have several identities, but this is one of my other partners. This is the other guy.
The Joker.
Yeah. Hello, Cynthia. I think I'm gonna say this to you, Cynthia. You are beautiful. And I love talking to you ladies because you know why? It completes me. It completes me. I'm sorry. Kale picks me on that.
That was fun.
Yeah, because some guys say, I remember I was on an interview with Bill Dobbins, one of the great photographers around there, and Bill said that you may not like to do that, but you know what? I do because I enjoy it. That's my favorite. I love the whole Batman trilogy. I love Heath's versions of the Joker. I grew up with the Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson version, but he took it, he ran with it.
Sure.
The last two, I don't know. I just didn't like it too much.
They try to get too creative and creativity.
This is from Lawrence Perkins. Says, as long as we keep putting our voices out, especially for you ladies, the life on this planet. Yeah, and thank you. This is also Mike says this is Joe was the master blaster. Yes, he's the father of bodybuilding. And here this is from my man KL, and he says this. He says, wait a minute, we gotta. Sometimes my computer does little stuff, send me little messages. He says this. He says C61 interesting. Yes, KL came in late, and y'all speaking on me. This says the Batman movies wasn't all that. Well, Well, KL, I'm just a particular type of criminal. But you don't like that bad in movies. You don't have to like them. But why didn't you see my scars, KL? Why didn't you, why so serious, son? Why so serious? I'm sorry. He just, he gets, when somebody talks about the Batman movies, he gets frustrated. So, but, as a competitor, it's tough. I know, especially when, especially you get your grandbabies now. I know there's days, I know a lady who, she's my dear friend lady, Mary Ann, she's a grandma. She has a little granddaughter. The other day I wanted to do a live stream with me, but she had to babysit. But, I know there's times where you want to spend more time with your family, but hey, I got to go train, I got to go this. That's a lot of sacrifices, any other person say, you know what, screw it, let's go out and have a pizza party with the babies. Let's go this, let's do that. But if you want to get to the next level in sport, you have to be committed. And you just don't do sport, because one thing, you don't do sport for the money, but the money could be helpful, but you do it for the passion. That's the one thing.
Yes, I absolutely love this sport. I am not giving this sport up anytime soon at all. I'd love to be doing this even in my 80s, permitting. Everything goes good. Everything, gravity doesn't take over. But I'll still be up there.
Yeah. Grab the table with your breast chops, your boob press, go hitting your knees, saying
everything.
Your kids, your grandson say, "Hey man, ain't that your grandma up there?" I say, "Oh man, nah, man, nah. Man, I used to really watch a picture back in the day when I was younger." I say, "Yeah, that's all right, man. I don't need to hear anything else." All right. This is for Michael Boyce. He says Cesar Romero as the Joker was the best. And he says. A legend. And the funny thing about Cesar, he shave off that mustache. He loved that mustache. That was made it, you remember the old Joker show.
Yes.
Also, this is from KL. It says, you can do all the Joker impressions all you want. I said what I said. Well, you say what you say. But you know what? I'm going to always be that Joker. I'm always going to be. What doesn't make you stranger, make you stronger. I'm sorry. This is from a man back voice. He loves it. He says, "Oh, ha 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 ha, delicious." Thank you, Mike, for backing me up. I would say like this. I think bodybuilding, people bodybuilding, it's like this. It's like taking a magic pill, and then that's all you need. But it takes more. Like with you have to have a particular diet because of all your medical issues. Also, you're much older. You can't go as hard and fast like the younger girls who go in there and pumping like this and that. But you go at your speed. You work with you. But people need to understand that there's a lot of work to bodybuilding. You have to understand the process, and once you understand it, you trust it. And if you're committed to it, you can go far.
The trust issue is a big deal, especially when it comes to coaches, because you do trust them. You trust them with your life, because you're putting your life in their hands. So having a coach that really understands you, does not treat you like a cookie cutter. Some coaches will do that. They'll just functional train. This is a totally different element. Having a coach that understands getting a competitor on stage and everything that they go through, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. There's a lot of emotions in this as well. So having a coach that understands that, it's hard to find one that can do everything. It really is. That's the issue that I'm having is after Diane, who did everything, nutrition, prep, cut, posing, everything. She's just a gem. It's hard to find somebody of that caliber that can understand, but I'll find it.
That's good. Keep looking, because I think one thing, especially with some coaches, they do cutters. A while back, I interviewed a young lady who's a figure competitor. Her coach was given the same thing she does as a man. But you gotta remember, even though as men and women we're the same species, we're both humans, but we're different animals. Men, we can naturally put on more muscle because we're genetically bred from building muscle. The purpose of men's life is to build, battle, and to die. Women, you are supposed to be nurturers. You have our children. Like we talk about back in the day, where when women got older, they still had a use because they could help raise the children. Men get older, they had much use. They used to go out into the middle of the forest and die in the cold. But now in this society, people are living much longer. Most people are getting older. I mean, it's about trusting people. If you like this, there's quite a few coaches who work with women a little more because they understand the science of biology, like of female. Because like I said, you have different, like you have like a different doctor compared to us men. You can go to a regular PC, but then you also have to have your own, your gynecologist, which men don't have. We just go to a regular doctor because we even boo boo. That's it. Women menstruate, men we don't. Women you lactate because you give breast milk. You have, there's so many different things compared to men that even though we do have some same organs, we're totally different, in some ways. This is from my man K. This is my man XA Gucci 23. My brother, we do content at MMA. He great guy, cool brother. And he says keep up the good work page. Thank you, brother. And also this is from this is from Mike, which says what's your low KS?
What's KS, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I think he says, he said links. Well, Mike, if you were here earlier, her links are in the description. Just click onto the video. You can follow her links. But Mike, I'm gonna tell you this, and I hope you're gonna do that. I know it's a lovely lady like here. She's right now. She's a week from a show she did. She looks still shredded. I know you guys, we see these ladies, they're on stage, they're oil up, they're shiny. You get a little pop tint in your shorts. No pics. Stop it. Get some help. All right. I know, like I said, I've been there, guy, and I learned how to control myself. I don't act like an animal.
We women appreciate that. Trust me.
Yeah, because the thing is, that is what women. Your fan base is mostly. If you break it down, this the fan base for men in the bodybuilding world is a lot longer, bigger because it's been around for a lot longer, and it's more acceptable for men to have muscle. If you look at it like this, you break it down like this. I break it down. You have guys who fan of bodybuilders. You have guys who are who are fan of bodybuilders, and you have some women who like men with muscle. But then with women, it's pretty much your fan base exclusively is us guys, because we do find like I'm from North Carolina, I'm from the South. I work the strip club. I work around women with thick, fast, ass like a truck. But I still like women like you who are just have great lines, great physiques. I love the biceps, arms, the pecs. I mean, everything. I don't have those same urges like I was when I was younger. I was growing up. I was in my pubescent years. You know how it is to have a boy, in the house. But I really respect what y'all do. I do find y'all very appealing. I find y'all attractive. It's fun when I talk to you ladies. Sometimes we have conversations. The other day I was talking to a lady. She's not competing right now. She's taking a break. We're just having a long discussion, and we're just talking about stuff, back and forth on social media and on the phone. And people gotta remember, y'all still you have a husband. He loves you, supports you, stands by you. You have your family. People need to remember also, you're still women. And I know you talk about nigga stuff, how like people will say like this, oh, her voice is kind of deep. Demi Moore, Kathleen Turner, Angie Harmon. There's several women who have those deep, and I love that. It's kind of sexy, that deep husky voice. That's kind of sexy. Some guys like it. Some guys might not. It's just, what's that? It was an episode of Mayberry that one girl said, hello, doll. Some people like, some people don't. But the thing is, this is funny about this. Guys who talk about you ladies, at the same time, we turn around 20 minutes later say, hey, Cynthia, I like your voice. I think you're sexy and your muscle really turns me on. But because society doesn't think that women like that can be appealing, they just often, they diss and say comments like, and it'd be guys who have breasts like me, who are built like, and if you don't like it, then shut the hell up.
Right. I actually have gotten very fortunate. I've only had maybe three max comments that I'm too muscular, too masculine. Other than that, everyone has just been phenomenal, both male and female, phenomenal. Of course, my fan base is mostly male. As you had mentioned, men love women with muscle. I'm finding that out. I think that's fantastic. I love it. I love men that love my muscle. I have no issue with that whatsoever. And like I said, I've gotten very fortunate. Everyone has just been very kind to me, very supportive, very nice. There's only those 1 to 2, and a lot of that just stems from jealousy. It does, and I think my first comment it really hit hard in my heart because I'm a very um, I have a big heart. I love people. I love everybody. And I think it hurt me simply because it seemed just so cruel and mean to say something so mean like that to somebody who is a very nice person who works very hard on their body, and for somebody to not understand that and to judge. It was hurtful, and I was told, you're gonna have that, you're gonna see it. Thank heavens I have not seen that very often. Thank heavens. It does kind of bring us down a little notch or two, but then you just have to let it roll off your shoulders and say, there's going to be people out there, but for every one of those people, there's at least 50 more that like what you're doing, that like how you look, that love to compliment you. So I try not to let the negativity even bother me like it used to when I first got the first negative comment.
Well, I like to say one of my favorite I'm a big fan of Chappelle's show, and one of the was the episode where they would play a haters ball, and the guy Cynthia Johnson, let them hate till they can't hate no more. That's the thing is, if you spend so much time hating on somebody who don't know you and don't care about you, you don't have much of a life. I mean, like I have common people make comments on my channel. I say, why are you posting this dude? I said, well, this is a lovely woman. It's like Andrea Shaw. Oh, Andrea. It could be just any woman who just has a great look to her. So again, my channel is about uplifting you ladies. I like to be an advocate for you ladies. That's why, I like talking to you, do interviews. I want people to realize that you are human. You're a person. You like I said, you're a wife, your mother, your grandmother, you're somebody's friend, you're somebody's sister. You're a coach and a trainer of your own. I mean, you got to respect what you do. I mean, if you don't, as I said again, if you don't like it, you don't have to say anything.
No.
People don't. It's that's easy, but people don't like it easy. They want to, ingrace themselves onto you for no apparent reason, just because they have nothing else to do. This is for a man, Lawrence Perkins. He says this. He says, "Well, Cynthia, I am one of them that people for you, I would willing to see you on your journey. You're beautiful the way you are.
Thank you,
regardless." Lord. This is from man KL. He says, Cynthia, it's not hard to tell that you are a woman. Because he made his comment. He said like this. He says, because it's keep it real. There are transformers, so you can't tell all the time. They don't always have muscles. Maybe some. Yeah, he's talking about transgender women. Because sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. I remember one time. This is when I used to work at this club. I used to work at. We had some girls come in, and there was one chick. I was like checking the ID. And the guy who was working door with me said like she's like Chris said, I said to him, Buck, it's her, him. I said, oh, you can't stay here too long because guys at a strip club, approach you thinking you don't want to so but like I said, if that's you, that's you. But I'm not gonna be too much of it. Also, this is from he says you're welcome, and we that is good because but. As you said, you're planning on doing a spring. Is there any particular show you want to do spring, or you just say you just
the shows don't come out. The listing of the shows do not come out until January, so I don't know yet. But I do plan on doing an early spring. I have the mass. I'm just going to build a little bit more, especially my legs. I really want to build my legs a little more, and then get that conditioning and peak in and just go for it.
Well, what you do. I'm always on social media. I used to have a partner. He always keep me up because I used to have. I do a live stream show on Monday, Talk Monday. I used to have an old partner. He always keep me up on stuff, but now I have to do a little more work now. That he don't keep me up like he used to. But if I do see the list, I will send you a copy. That does help you a lot. I mean, a while back, I saw something that was posted. Gary Uda, he posted that they're going to have the Texas Pro is going to be the Nationals going to be in Texas this year. And he already posted that, the list of what's going to be the qualifications to get for that show. The Olympics coming up in about 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, and this year is not a good year for women's bodybuilding. I mean, but the thing is like this, they need it because the fact is, if you see some women now, like some women who I follow, just recently I saw Ashley Jones. She's moving up. Melissa Tyke, she moved up this year. I think bodybuilding division needs to stay because the fact is, those women in physique are growing. Now, there's one lady who I follow, Anne Lorraine Moon. She's from France. I interviewed one of her country women, Barbara Marjan, a while back. Barbara Marjan's not competing this year because she said she's going to go to bodybuilding. Anne Moon said she wants to stick into, say, physique. She's at 178 right now and shredded. And now just talking about changing guidelines, mostly like men's classic and men's physique. But it should talk about same for the other division, especially women's bodybuilding and physique. Because one thing, some women they say they do need the the requirements like weight and height and everything else, because that'll cut out the women who are in the physique that don't belong in physique and push them to bodybuilding. And same thing for women figure. Because like I said, I showed you that picture of Brooke, who was at the Legion Fest with you with Jessica Padilla-Reyes. Jessica's number 2 behind Cindy Gillen, and and she did compete in physique for a minute, but she's always been physique for figure for a while. And I'm surprised this woman still winning shows with the size and condition she has.
There'll come a point where she won't. That happened with my trainer Diane, beautiful lady, big figure. She got so big with figure that she wasn't placing where she wanted to place. And so her coach goes, let's go to physique. Boom. She got her pro cards right off the bat. So there is a point where you need, I can still do figure at the mass that I have, considering how the figure women's are coming in now. They're huge. When I first started off with this and started in figure, they were the, smaller size, petite, gorgeous. And now this year, for some reason, the figure is coming in quite big. I watched the figures at the stage last weekend at Legions, and my mouth just dropped down to my knees. I'm like, that's figure? Oh my gosh, if I would have known, I actually would have entered figure instead of physique. But you know what? It is what it is. Maybe my next show I'll do both. I'll cross over.
Yeah. Well, the girl who won that show, she debuted this year. She competed at the Sasquatch Pro. She was, I think, 7th in figure, then turns around and wins. That wins the religious show. Susan Graham, who competed at the Masters Olympia a few months ago, she was 5th, because in the top 5 was, you had Evie Rain, Carolina Alvarez. Also, Heather Foster was at that show. Mm. She was number 3 at the Masters, but she was 16th at the Legion show. I mean, I'm looking like I'm wondering, like I saw that and I said, it must have been a strong lineup. And I saw the female body chat. I said, no, it's not, because no way is like Heather Foster's a multiple-time Olympic competitor, so is Ivy Rain, and it wouldn't think that. But then if you look at now, because this is a picture I'm gonna show you real quick, and you ask yourself, which is which? This is right here. We have here Missy Trescott and Sarah Vilgus. Now, everybody says that there's always a difference between exertions and all that stuff like that. But if you look at them and you ask yourself, which one is figure? I mean, which one is actually fitness, and or which one is physique?
I see, in my personal opinion, I see figure in both of them. But the gal on the right with the neon green shorts is borderline physique. The gal on the left in the black definitely looks figure, a little big, a little more streamlined cuts than figure should be, but they could both cross over between figure and physique, in my opinion.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. The girl in the lime yellow shorts, that's the current fitness champion in Olympia. And the girl in the black is the former 2-time Miss Physique champion.
Wow.
Sarah Vilgus.
Wow.
That is in I know you said that I've heard that Missy's not going to move up to women's, either to figure or to physique, but she's they said that the adductors and the X Factor frame like that. Yeah. But then from the outside, because I'm still an outsider, I'm an outsider looking in. I see, like, I remember she was at this the last year they had figure and fitness at the Arnold Classic. She's standing next to Jessica Reyes, who's figure. And if you didn't know they were both 2 divisions, you would say they're both physique, But it's just, like one point here. I'm gonna show you this picture here. This is a lady who I'm a big fan of. I posted on my IG. She didn't like it when I posted, but hey, I'm just being me. I'm gonna be honest. This is Margie Martin.
Oh, she's gorgeous. I think I saw the one on the right with the lighter colored suit on at the Legions. I'm not sure, but she looks very familiar.
That's the one here on the right. That's
number 8.
Ashley, the Ashley Jones, and you have Margie right here in the purple. And Ashley, she was physique. She actually, hear about Ashley, she was, for when she got her pro card, she got it as a figure competitor.
Oh,
She was
wow.
figure for the last 2 or 3 years of her career. She switched to physique 2 years ago. She took second at Tampa, but won her first Olympia in 2021 in Texas, because she's from Texas. Margie has been top 3 competitor and multiple time Olympic competitor during her career. She's won 2 Rising Phoenix championships.
Wow.
But if you look at these women, even though I believe Ashley's like maybe about 5 feet, 5'1". I believe Margie's around about 5'3", maybe 5'4". Even though they're both different divisions, you would say they're borderline, because she's physique, Margie was bodybuilding. It's just getting
They
close.
both look like they should be bodybuilding, but I mean, they're both gorgeous. Their physiques are just phenomenal.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of Margie. Been following for years, and Ashley, she's a new up and comer. She competed last year at the at the Olympia. I don't call it Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia is the title. The show is the Olympia. I don't know why I put a Mr. for it.
Oh, Olympia.
It's Olympia. It's Olympic. The Olympia. Mr. Olympia is the title. I'm just being me. But I think it's just how the divisions just meld into one another. Physique was supposed to come in and take the place of women's bodybuilding. But now, where the women are going developing, it's not taking place. It's more like a transition division. Like you look at, figures more like a transition division. I mean, when you for team says not, but it kind of is. Like I'm seeing women who in figure that even though they're not as big as physique, they get to the point they are getting bigger. And you need those divisions, because that's why the women's divisions. There's more divisions for the women than compared to the men. There's 6 for women, 4 for men. But then you have to have for people start to grow and develop and change as athletes. They train different, they change. And I did an interview with Tia Flex. He says, like, it's not body breaking, it's body building.
That's true.
Yeah. We got here, this is from a man, KL the Wonder. You really can't tell who is physique or wellness. Well, you can tell wellness, because wellness is separate, because they have the same frame. Well, the wellness girls, they're more closer to women's bodybuilding is to physique, especially the quads and the legs, because they say that you can look off a little bit. I got a friend. He's a men's figure champion. He competed as a pro for a long time. My man Big Keith, he does a lot of shit with me. The thing with wellness is supposed to be for those women who just have bigger legs, bigger quads, bigger butts. Those women who have is basically is the black aesthetics. That's the division for them. But if you don't have those aesthetics, it doesn't work.
Right. Those and the Cuban gals. They are just perfect for them.
Cubans, the Puerto Ricans, the Brazilians.
Yes.
Those women that have those strong black genetics.
Yes.
That works better from them. This is from my man KL said, George, you think Margie could come back? No, Margie said she's done. She's moved on. She's doing other stuff. That was that last Olympia. She said she was retiring. Hella Trevino, she stepped out because she has some personal reasons. Because she's training right now. She worked with a couple ladies in at the shows. Big fan of Hella Trevino, but big fan of Margie. She served our country in the Marine Corps. And this is, I said to any former, because I have 2 in my family. My oldest niece and my young nephew, they was in the military for a couple of years. I said this. I don't say thank you for your service to them. I say to them, we appreciate the sacrifice you have made for this country. Because they really are out there in the line. What you did as a nurse, I appreciate your service. What you have worked with people. Appreciate your time. But like I said, we don't want to hold up the lovely Miss Marks too long. I know she's probably got to work out. She probably have to get her 8th meal for the day. It's
6 meals a day.
6 meals a day. I mean, does your husband cook any?
No.
You want to do it, you have you, would he? You say, honey, how you turn on the stove? How you work the microwave?
He's a little bit better than that, but because of my food sensitivities, I cook for myself. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any food allergies or he eat anything, so whatever I cook, he'll eat it. So, which is good.
What's your husband's name?
His name is Aaron.
Or I'm gonna go Aaron. So Aaron.
Aaron.
I know another lady. Husband, Lori Conley. Husband's name is Aaron. You ladies, you must have good men. So anytime anybody has a double consonant, name, that's a good man. You gotta get it. So Aaron, man, you're a good man. You're a good father. You're a good husband. A good granddaddy. This is a good woman you have here, and it's good that I've talked to ladies that they have lost friendships when they got to the sport.
Yes.
And I know there's people that you came along with, especially you got married really young. You didn't really, you got married, you didn't get yourself out there like some of these ladies have. But I know you did have those friends from when you were coming up. Things change, your life changed. You can't go out. One thing is you can't go out and go hit the bar. You can't, especially with your food allergies, you can't eat too many things. I mean, I remember one lady told me how she went to a family function. She had to bring her own food. There was like barbecue, and it was the summer, and she just couldn't eat what everybody wanted. I know another lady said she went to a wedding. It was a wedding for a friend, and she wanted to go, but she had to bring her own food. I mean, it's just so much, and sometimes some people don't understand, and things you can't make anybody understand something they don't know. Bodybuilding is still a niche sport, and I think some people have to really be accomplished. Well, you know what? I got a comment for somebody. I think you might know this person. Thanks, George. I appreciate it. Hey, Ron Marks. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you, Mr. Marks. Appreciate it. Hey, Mr. Marks, I'll say that you sure got pretty wife. So I'm gonna say this, Mr. Marks. I like to watch a lot of old westerns. I'll put my Festus Haggard. So, Mr. Marks, sir, I like to appreciate you for letting me talk to your woman. I don't want to feel obligated to you, sir. I like to thank you again, and I hope you're doing a good job with your woman. And with your babies and all that, sir. You're a good man, sir. I'd like to thank you again. And that's my cowboy hat. I salute to you, sir, Mr. A.A. Ron. So this is for a man, this is for a man, XA said, thanks for the interview page. Nice to meet you, Cynthia. Thank you, XA. That's my man. We hope to get on new relationship. But yeah, it's good that he took the time to come on here and support his wife, his bride, his woman. And it's good that you have your babies to support you, your grandbabies, your sisters, your family, your friends. It's again, bodybuilding is a tough sport.
It is.
It's tough. There's days where I know you get up in the morning, you don't want to do cardio. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that. Your coach tell you, hey, we gotta do leg day. Oh my God, shoot me now, shoot me now. But it's a lot of work what you do. And sacrifice you got to make, like I said again, I wish there was more benefits for y'all competitors. I mean, just truthfully, just if nothing more than just maybe health insurance, life insurance. So like we had a lot of deaths last year, but we had just a few days ago we had a young man who was a Olympia physique classic competitor who killed himself. I mean, mental health is also it's like if the body's willing but the mind's not, it's just it works against each other.
Now, your mind needs to be healthy for this as well. Mm-hmm. It really does.
Yeah, because I think, it's most definitely because, even regular athletes, like remember a while back, Simone Biles had to take a step back because, as athletes, mental issues will pop up. Sometimes doubt is that ugly thing that comes in the back of your head. So
I have that every prep and cut, trust me. There's always doubt. But you overcome it. The more you overcome it, the less you doubt. But I honestly think that people that do doubt in that phase, the prep and cut, for me, it's because I'm a professionalism and I really want everything to be perfect. That doesn't always happen like this last competition. It was almost perfect, but it wasn't perfect. And I just picked that perfect right on up, that almost perfect, and just run with it and make it perfect. That's the only way you can do it. You can't live in the negativity part of the world. In this competition, you have to just keep moving forward and keep building and keep believing in yourself and keep believing in the people that believe in you too. So,
well, this is what I learned. They say practice makes perfect, but there's no such thing as perfect. Practice makes improvements. You can get better, but perfection is not. It's impossible to reach perfection. You can get better, more improved.
Exactly.
Perfection is something is the next impossible to reach for. We got this coming from your man. He says this. He says George, funny man. George AOL. Like I'm gonna do like this. Yes, like I like to have fun. I like to put a smile on your face. I'm a particular type of criminal. I'm like a dog chasing cars. Yeah, I'm sorry. I try to, I have several identities. That's one of them. I go by, my right here. You're talking George MacArthur. There's also George, all the way George Page, the Emperor from Empire Talk. There's also the hater. There's also there's also the perv, he's a little pervy sage. Some names people, and also as another of my monikers, I'm also Lord of the Wall, Masters of the North. I am Jon Snow. I have people come tell me stuff like they say, like, you ever watch the show Game of Thrones? You had to send messages by ravens, and sometimes I call my ravens my little birdies. Like every so often, I get like, we got a message from my lord from a raven. I said, oh, okay, okay, oh, put it out. But yeah, I think most definitely as a fan, and I'm speaking as a fan. That's what I'm speaking as. Maybe I'm a little polyamorous. I like to see better, especially for women's bodybuilding. I like to see more opportunities, more shows, promoters who want to give the opportunities for you ladies. They're cutting you out. The reason why they cut that point system because of the fact that too many people at the show. But then when you have 100 bikini shows and 1 million men's classes shows, yeah, it's gonna take up time. But women's bodybuilding don't have that many shows.
No.
Just overseas, just some the Olympia amateurs. There were only 2 women in women's bodybuilding, but at least about 10 or 15 in women's physique. No new pros coming from Europe because women are saying like, we don't want to go to bodybuilding, you don't want to feel, yeah. But the fact is, it's just, hey, you just go and compete and get your pro card. You can go wherever you want to go after you did that. I did an interview with a lady who turned pro last year. She made her pro debut this year. She turned pro both in women's bodybuilding and women's physique. There was a woman who just a few months ago who did the same thing. That's why I'm saying that the divisions are melted. If there's not, and then the judges have a lot of control. If there's not a set guideline which separates this division from that division, right, especially in the amateur level, and then you hit the pros. What do you want to see? What do you want from you? What do you want from us? I say it like this: is just if you're going to change criteria for this division, that division, why not do the same for us? Like one thing you do, you cut down the numbers in women's physique. You force someone to say, not force, but you make someone realize that you don't belong in this division. When you're outgrowing division, when you look at someone like that picture of Sarah Vilgas, where she looks more like she's figure, but she's still a physique competitor. You look at the picture of Ashley Jones I showed you, how she looks like she's physique, but she's decided that, what, I'm growing too big for this division. I got to move up. You're not placing well. I know the ones who still place well, good, they're going to stay. But then if you get to the point where, it's time to move up. It's time to make that decision. I know you're scared. You don't want to feel like, like with Anne Moon, she's from France. I remember talking about Marjan. She said that in France, they don't like women that much, even with us physique competitors. But it's just the growing development as an athlete. And sometimes you get stopped.
Right. I'm not getting stopped. I'm going to continue.
You're like Rocky Balboa. You're going to keep moving forward. No matter how hard you get hit. I love Rocky saying, no matter how much you get hit, you got to keep moving forward.
Right. Even if you have to crawl, just keep moving forward.
Yeah. And, there's those say you got to crawl before you walk. And just, that's the thing is, this, like I said, this is sport. But this is what I would like to do. If I could do this, if I had, this I always like to do this. I like talking to this guy. He's the one who saved bodybuilding. He kind of pushed back a little bit because he's doing this. Jake Wood. Yo, Jake. I want that money. I want that gun. I'm sorry, I do. Every time I say his name, I gotta go to Denzel, and because hey, Jake got money. Hey, Jake, just give what you got in your pocket. I pay my rent for the next 2 or 3 months. But I think as a person, if I could, I would love to sponsor some ladies. I love to be a promoter, maybe or a sponsor. Try to get opportunities because you live in California. Bodybuilding used to be big in California, but there's so few shows opportunities for even women's bodybuilding and physique. You have to go to
find a bodybuilding show here this year in California.
No,
there was one in Arizona, but I could not find one in California. That's why I selected the Legion's Expo, the Legion Sports Center podium, is because they have a good lineup for physique, and but they didn't have the women's bodybuilding. That was really I to do pro shows now. I can't do amateur shows. So I'm finding a very difficult time here in California finding them. I'm having to go elsewhere, and that's fine. I get to see different parts of the country that I haven't seen before. I'd never gone to Reno, so that was really nice. I'd never gone to Pittsburgh last year. That was really nice as well. I would like to do some other states too. Of course, I've been to Texas because I used to live in Texas, but I've never competed in Texas. So I would love to compete in my own home state, so to speak.
Well, I know some lady home Greek who her name's Andrea Sauer. We talked about this. She went to Vancouver. It was like the Vancouver Pro your California's a little closer to Vancouver than it
Right.
is anyplace else. They don't have masters, but do have open women's bodybuilding and physique. That guy who runs the show, he said he did a great job. He really, it's just mostly for originally it was just women's bodybuilding and physique. He added wellness this year. He might add maybe some more divisions. He might even do masters, for all I know. But I don't know if it's going to be on the list this year. It might be because it's a popular show. One thing is, it's hard. There's not that many shows which are just exclusive for you ladies, like other than the Rising Phoenix, which is also Rising Phoenix / Arizona Pro. There's Omaha Pro, which is just all this for women. There's a show for it's more like one of the few shows that's a master show, but it's Olympia qualification. That's a show in 3-point, the Ultima Classic. This year the Daytona show, a couple ladies who I done interviews with, one lady I've been friendly with, they competed that show, and that year was open qualification for the Olympia. I think, since there's a big contingency between Texas, California, big contingency out in the West. No couple ladies, one lady who lives two couple ladies who live in Colorado. One's a pro, one's an amateur. I mean, Texas is a growing mecca. It was going to try to do a bodybuilding show in Texas, but it got dropped from the list forever because most of the promoters can't get sponsors because sponsors don't want to put money behind women's bodybuilding. But the thing is, I know you want to get your money back. But if you do a pro-am show in which you get money from the amateurs, it should cover for most of the costs. But then you have to pay sanction fees like that and all that other stuff. But if you feel like you're a real fan, I was like this. Guys who are really fan of women's bodybuilding get together. Say, you know what? We want to see there's shows that don't have women's bodybuilding. Let's go talk to the promoter. Tell them we put up the money for the sanction fee. We put up the money for this and the prize money. What Sarah Vickers is doing. She's putting money for a show. Put up her own money because her husband's rich. She's married to a rich man. She can do that. But I would like this. I would like to be a sponsor for some people. I would say, like, I come to you, Mrs. Marks. I would like to sponsor you. I would like to help you out on your way. If you need anything, let me know. But then you have that guy, Cynthia, say, hey, Cynthia, yeah, I like that smile, Cynthia. I like her, yeah. You know what, Cynthia, you get me that little bit hot. So if you do something for me, if I do something for you, you do something for me? No. Right there, we got a husband right here, guys. No, stop it. Be honest. You want to see an athlete grow and continue and make their process. I know, like I said again, a lot of ladies do stuff like OnlyFans, her biceps. A lot of as I said again, the Beat the Meat websites, because it's the way to make money. But if it's not you, it's not you. But sponsorship is good. You help an athlete. I just talked to a lady. She lives in Texas. She's running her own. I've seen her link. She runs her own little business. She's one of the sponsored athletes. She's mostly right now working with people in Texas, but she really wants to expand once everything gets bigger. Her name is Eunice. Eunice is in her. I think she turned 58 this year. Been competed since the 90s. She turned pro about a couple years ago, and she made a pro debut at Tampa. Great lady. We talk, have conversation. I think that's her that's sending me a message right now. But it's just about the process of this sport. The sacrifice you make, and I think you ladies deserve just as much as the men. You're not gonna get as much money as the men do. I mean, I think at least, come on, first place at the show could be at least $10,000. That should cover just about everything you put in.
It covers more than that for the men. For women, it would definitely cover a little more than half as well, unless you're traveling from a different country to come here. So, but yeah, every little penny helps. It really does. And I really can't even emphasize on that any more than that. Every little penny helps. Yeah,
because some of the girls do, especially after shows, they do photo sessions, ways to make money. I know it's something you would ever want to do yourself, but it's.
I actually have one coming up. I was presented with one, and I actually am doing one.
Oh, that's cool.
That was my first. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that'd be fun.
Because his thing is, as we muscle person, when you ladies are. You're shredded. Yeah, you're off the stage. We get excited. We like, it's like, something like, I remember, Beth, for instance, her last Miss Olympia back in '99. She was just, I gotta see that video. She just looked amazing. She's like, her body. She was just how the light was shining off her skin. I mean, it was just. I've heard like one time I say I would love to go backstage. I said one girl said, George, you want to be careful because we don't wear under or anything like that. It's funky back there. I said. So she told me what she does. She used like fabric softener to put in her armpits because that tan stuff. Got to be careful. I said, because you go and say, well, you hold your nose, but also you hold your finger and say, nah, I don't know, but some guys.
They love it. They love the sport. They love everything about it.
Yeah. Well, you gotta love what you do, and that's a good thing. As
Yes.
long as you love your job, you get paid every day. So, folks, like I said, we're not going to hold her much too longer. I enjoy our conversation. I love Miss Marks. We wish her all the best in the future. We had shot to her husband, Mr. A. Ron, Mr. Aaron Marks. Thank you, Mr. Marks, for coming through, supporting your wife. Thanks everybody who comes here and to watch and comment. These ladies do need support. We need people who genuinely want to see these, especially these athletes, grow and develop. If you're someone interested, like I said again, for social media stuff in the description. Be genuine interest. Don't be that weird guy. You show pictures of something that looks like a thumb or a turkey neck. No. Be that guy who says, like, Mr. Marks, I have a contract for you. It's to be a sponsor. If you like to interested, let me know. I got a plan. We do this and do that. Put it all out. Be consistent and be honest with what you're about. Don't be that weird guy. So before we let you go, do you have anybody? This is what they want to ask. What would you like to change in the sport if you could, if you had a position?
Oh, good question. I haven't been in the sport long enough to really know what it should change, other than women being more appreciated, for sure, which we've already touched that topic. I think everybody agrees with that. Yeah, definitely a little bit more money for us. Outside of that, I really don't know what else needs to change other than more shows for physique and bodybuilding, especially on the West Coast. That would be very, very beneficial. I really enjoyed, like I said, going to and doing that. That was a lot of fun. And I'm not opposed to traveling, but with busy life and my career, having to travel to the East Coast and back is a bit trying. There's so much logistics that are involved in it. Packing your meals, everything, which I had to do for Pittsburgh, because we just can't go out and eat anything. We have to eat our meals that are designed for the prep and cut. I really don't know what else, George, to be honest, because I haven't been in this industry long enough. I'm sure there's many things that other women that have been in this industry 20, 30, 40 years could say, this needs to change. I love it. I love everything about it.
It's good that you have your perspective. It's good that you
Yeah.
be honest about it. I would say like this. I think, like I said again, more money. If anything could be, you don't have to be just enough where it can cover the costs, especially for you ladies who do have to, do the websites and stuff like that to try to make the income steady. And it's a good thing you have your job as a trainer or coach, and also it's good that you do have your experience as a nurse and that your pension. You don't want to dip into that if you don't need to, but it's good to have that when it's there. I would say again, I think when you even the pro amateur levels, it should be health benefits. Like when you get sick, you don't have to like one guy who was a amateur or a top notch coach, John Meadows, aka Mountain Dog. His family had to do a GoFundMe for his guy. You would think he would have I would think like little things to help along the way. So especially, like I said again, you men and women are the product. We come to see you. We don't come to see whoever's the judge. We don't come to see whoever's the officials. We come to see y'all.
Yeah.
And I think we would like to see more opportunities for you. I know it's hard to get sponsorship because the fact is most companies would want to go with some girl who looks like a pencil, a pencil with two basketballs, or a Barbie, or they want to go with what's more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that sometimes life's not meant to be comfortable. Life is tough. It's hard, but it's precious too. And if you see somebody say, you know what, you want to give them opportunity, you should give it to them. I mean, I think you ladies do need, more especially in the West. You do need, I think Texas is good. I think, Jake Wood, he might, I don't know, he might try to take one of his shows because I think there's two shows in Arizona. I think maybe in the future he might make one of the pro am. Oh, this is something I'm gonna see this linked also. Andrea Shaw. And Brooke Walker, not Brooke Walker, Whitney Jones and Cindy Gillen are getting together a show called Triple O Dynasty. It's you say you want to wait till about the spring. You said spring?
Yeah, around the spring.
It's gonna be women's bodybuilding because Andrea's gonna also gonna have pro masters class. I'll send the link to there. You can check it out. It's gonna be in Arizona. Arizona's a little closer to California than anything.
Yeah, I can just drive to Arizona, no big deal.
Yeah. I'll send you a link from their IG. Check it out. Maybe show them might interest you. If it works within your time zone, or if they
I would
change
love
anything,
that. Yes,
yeah.
please. Yeah.
Because I'm happy to help you ladies. It gives me a purpose. Like I said again, for a long time, I took care of my mom. My mom was my woman. I took care of her, and now she's gone. And everybody else has their family to grow. I don't have kids. I just got me, and I enjoy doing this. It gives myself, my mind, a purpose. Because I've been a fan of you ladies. You ladies have gave me many pleasures many times, and especially for a lonely boy. But I respect you because talking with you ladies, I get respect. I remember I got an opportunity to go to my first vitamin show. I never been. I couldn't. Most of the time, there was always saying, I didn't have the time, but I had the money. When I had two jobs, but now I don't have the money, but I do have time. But but I would, like I said, it was great to meet people. Like I got to meet Lena Popa. I got to meet a couple of ladies who I follow on social media. I got to meet some ladies I did interviews with. And I met some ladies early last year when I went to an event. I got a guy. His name is Glenn Young. He has a magazine dedicated to women's bodybuilding, fitness, sports. He's going to go to Olympia in a few weeks because Jake Wood invited him. Yo, Jake. I'm sorry, I had this. But would love to see your ladies get more opportunities. It was great to meet you. I mean, I was kind of like in my I'm like but I get to talk to some of the ladies and just it's sweating my butt off too. But I really respect what y'all do, and you have a purpose. And I mean, you got someone like your man, A.A. Ron, standing by you. You got your baby standing by you, your grandbaby standing by you, and that's good. You have that. Some women, they don't have that.
Nope.
It's tough. They don't have that. But I'm the type of person, I'll be happy if you need somebody just to talk to. Just to let you know, just the vent. I got a lot of free time. I don't got no woman and got nothing. It just got me. But I love getting your opportunities to chat, share story. I know guys who follow my channel say, "Hey, George, where you get such and such and such." I get who I want, who interests me. I would love to have Andrea Shaw in here. I'd love to have particularly anybody. But like I say, if I get somebody who say, "You know what, I want to share my story. I'm interested. You like my stuff? Good, thank you. I appreciate that." But like I said, this is about about giving y'all attention. So before we let you go, do you have anybody you want to shout out to? We know who you got, so just go ahead and shout them out.
Well, the spouse was already mentioned. I have many friends that I mentioned. Diane Blevins. Let's see. I have so many friends that are probably watching this.
Just say your friends, and then your
Rick is most likely watching this. Scott's most likely watching this. I have a lot of people that are very close to me that I've given this to. I don't know if they're on or not, but if you are, thank you. I appreciate your support, including my sisters. I hope you better be on, is all I can say. I will find out.
Are you the oldest, or you?
I am their older sister, yes. So they better be on. I changed one of their diapers, or my youngest sister's diapers, for years.
I did change my.
Years older, so
I didn't change any of my. I'm like number 6 on the totem pole. I got a younger brother and younger sister, but I did change my niece and nephew's diapers. I can understand that by that.
Yeah, so you at least have experience, so they owe you.
They owe me big time.
But everyone that I know that is watching me, thank you very much. I appreciate your support as well.
Well, folks, we'd like to say thank you for coming through. We appreciate the lovely Mrs. Cynthia Marks for taking the time with me. She still looks buffed out. Well, I don't usually ask this, but I know the guys will ask you one more flex before you go. I don't usually ask because I know you ladies need enough flex and stuff like that.
I love flexing. Are you kidding?
Yeah, a little flex, a little pick dance like that. Look at that, guys. This is for the guys. Okay, stand back. We'll get her. Look at that, guys. 61 years old. Look at that.
I stay lean for many, many months after contest.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's tough to try to stay lean. Some ladies like to bulk up after season. I know the ladies you're talking to. She's taking this as her growing season right now. I mean, one time.
Season, I'm still pretty lean, even in my growing season. That's just how I build.
That's good. So anyway, folks, we'd like to thank again the lovely Mrs. Cynthia Marks. Thank you. Appreciate your time. We'd like to thank her husband, Mr. Aaron Marks, a.k.a. Aaron Marks. My man, Lois Perkins, my man, KL the one, and my brother, Executive 23, Mike Boyce, who was here. Also, Bulls Deep, he was here. Anybody who watches this video, share, comment, subscribe, support women like Cynthia Marks. Support these men and women in the sport of bodybuilding. It's a tough sport. It's a expensive sport. If you're someone out there who watches this video, who has the means in the way, who loves to sponsor somebody, don't want anything to sponsor them, product placement, something like that. Anything, like say 61 years old. She should be doing commercials for for retirement homes. Like, I'm 61, this is my new life here.
Not this girl.
No, but you do you could do like one of those commercials where they show this is Cynthia, she's 61 years old and she looks fit and lean, something like that. Those those commercials.
That I could do.
Yeah, but folks, like I said again, if you want to follow her social media stuff is in the description.
Yes, follow me, please.
Follow her, please. But guys, I know this is no offense to her. She's a lovely lady. She has amazing physique. She's in condition. And I know you guys, we see women like this, you get the pop 10. Don't. No. D-pics. Stop it. Don't do that. Why do you do it? I understand you get excited when we see these ladies in person, we see them on stage. I know this is true story, and this is before I go out. This is true story. This guy told me a story. I used to go be on these chat rooms where we were dedicated to women bodybuilding fans. This guy told me a story where he went to a show. It was like years ago. He used to work in sales, and sometimes he'll do this. He'll set his when he has to go out and travel. Sit around when he knows when there's going to be a show. Big bodybuilding fan. He went to a show. He was there. It was like he just doing the finals. Especially it was when the women's final pose down. He's sitting there. He's just watching the show, enjoying himself. He hears a noise in the back. He's like, "What's going on back there?" He turns around and looks. There's this guy getting dragged out from the back of the auditorium. You know what I'm about to say. His ankles.
Pee Wee Herman incident.
Yeah. Pee Wee. Rest in peace to Paul Rubin. I remember when they took on the show, that guy pissed me off. I love Pee Wee's Playhouse. Was going inside the most kids. Saturday morning's dead now, but they were dragging him out of the auditorium. His pants around his legs. It was during the women's final pose down. Because when y'all ladies do that, most muscular, we get excited. And he's sitting like a couple seats from one of the trainers. The lady says, "Oh my God, I thought they kicked that guy out the last time." Oh God! But those are the guys that get to a stream.
Yeah,
you have that guys who are to a stream for female bodybuilding and to a stream against female bodybuilding. But if you're the ones who are like me, I've been a little bit on the not too much extreme side, but almost there. Respect what these ladies do. Recognize their accomplishment. Recognize them as women. This is somebody's wife. This is someone's mother. Somebody's grandmother. Somebody's friend. Somebody's sister. If you want to support them, show genuine interest. If you see her somewhere and she's like maybe getting gas, hey, tell her, hey, I paid for your gas. If you see her getting coffee, pay for a coffee. Those little things help in the long run. Those little things to show that you support and you care. But like I said, folks, we're not going to hold much longer. I know a friend told me I'm doing Cuban goodbyes, how I leave, but I'm not Cuban, but but I do appreciate her again. I wish her best. I hope everything goes well for her and whatever she does. Again, shout out to Mr. A.A. Ron. Shout out to her babies. I want to wish you best of luck, and I hope you have a great future in sport of bodybuilding.
Oh, I intend to. Thank you so much, George. It's been a pleasure.
Your work is precious on my, and this is one thing I like to say this to you, KL, because he hates when I quote Batman. At the end of Batman Begins, when Gary Oldman is Jim Gordon turns to Batman and says, "I forgot to thank you," and Batman says to him, "Christian Bale, my favorite Batman, you never have to."
Sweet, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it too because it makes me feel like I'm a real hero. I'm not. I'm a perv. So anyway, folks, if you want to follow her, follow social media, follow her, on her social media platforms. You know my rules, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. A.A. Ron might come to your house one day with his son, pull you out in the street. Get stopped by him, and her two girls and the grandbabies. You don't want to do that stuff, boys. Stop it, okay? So anyway, you want to follow her, show her support. Let's wish her best of luck in this coming next year, and maybe we see her. If not the main Olympia, maybe the Masters Olympia. It's a long way. I hope that you bring it. I hope you bring it to the States. I know some competitors said they didn't want to go all the way to Romania, but that's up to Jake. Jake, it's up to you, Jake. I know a leadership show, but it's you, Jake. You put up the money. So anyway, folks, thank you for the lovely Miss Cynthia Marks. Thank you, everybody else going through. comment, like, subscribe. Don't comment, don't like, subscribe. This is your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. Don't subscribe. I'm out. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you.